All right, good morning, everybody. Having a few slight technical difficulties. Plus, I woke up only 30 minutes before I wanted to go live and trying to get everything set up and whatnot. It's one of those. It's Monday. It's Monday. That's what it is. It's Monday. Happy Monday. Welcome. I'm your host and pilot, Uncle B. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. Let me see if I can talk without having to pause to stop and think. Today we are back in the DC-3. We're in South America. We're going to take off from this little airport here in Vitória da Conquista. Vitória da Conquista, not da, day, not German, numpty. Vitória da Conquista. Small little airport here. We're going to head out. We may fly a little bit past this point this morning before we turn. I've been testing the plane a little bit off stream, and I've been struggling with the autopilot, but and getting the plane to climb. So we're going to go to only 10,000 feet today. But it's getting the plane to start climbing on its own and everything. That's a bit of a touch. It can be a bit weird. But anyway, we're gonna head right to here, and then we have 100 and let me look at my notes here. 192 nautical miles to this fixed point here. And then we have a 212 leg to this VUR DME right here on the coast, pretty much, right next to this little airport right here. And then we're going to turn towards Rio de Janeiro. We're going to kind of cut through the coast here, come out over the water even more, and then we're going to turn in and follow this crazy pattern into runway 2 right there. That is where we're going to land. We've been here before, a long time ago. This is part of the old Pan Am route. Let me get back to the chat so I don't miss if anybody says anything and I'm looking at my plan. So Pan Am did fly down here. I think they landed here before the larger airport might have been built back in the day. So this is a much newer airport here, it looks like. But I think this might have been the original destination. So we're going to come in, we're going to go right by Sugarloaf Mountain, and we may, if the weather's clear enough, we might see Christ the Redeemer on the way in. We might get a glimpse of it. We'll see. But anyway, that is our plan for today. Says about a 3-hour and 7-minute flight. Maybe we'll get there a little bit quicker, if possible. We'll see. I do want to say a couple quick thank yous to Drunken Simming and to Pop Unicorn for the follows over the weekend. Appreciate that. Good morning, R. Who's R? That could mean anybody, Joseph. Come on now. It's like nearly 11 there. Come on now. You could do better than that. Joseph. I don't know if I should respond because you may be talking to somebody else for all I know. Anyway, so I'm going to sit here and sip my coffee, try to wake up a little bit more. Obviously, Joseph, you need something if you're just putting an R in there. Okay, good morning, Joseph. Today's route, and of course our server. We are on the Southeast Asia. I did verify that. There you go. There's the ocular proof. We are on Southeast Asia server. We like to do ocular proof. And so yeah, it should be a nice flight. I think it'll be nice. It's not a lot of scenery along the way. It's pretty much low, kind of flattish, maybe some very low mountains, but nothing. I don't think we're going to be having to worry about too much at 10,000 feet along the way. But it should be a pretty nice. I think it's going to be really nice once we get down here to this little our VOR DME that we're going to intercept here, and then we start coming along the coastline. I think that's when the scenery is going to pick up a little bit. So, and then this nice kind of zigzag into the airport here. We're going to be at about 2,000 feet, so we should see quite a bit of detail as we come into the bay right here. So, and line up for our approach or for landing. So, hopefully everybody's doing well for this. We're past the Ides of March, although you should still be aware because, sometimes things carry over from the Ides of March. And yeah, so we're gonna. This week's gonna be a bit of a busy week. Later today, I will be on the farm with Mick, Farm Sim 22, unless something's changed that am not aware of. But that is the plan as far as I know, unless he tells me otherwise. That's what I'm expecting to do. And I think we're flying with him. I'm going to co-pilot for him sometime later this week. I don't know what days. We haven't had our board meeting yet about about all that. And then yeah, got some appointments. Hopefully see the surgeon tomorrow. Knock on wood. Fingers crossed that there's not another delay. I'm really interested to see what he has to say if I'm cleared for physical therapy to start that, and if everything looks as good as he has hoped, and I hope it is. It's either going to go one of two ways. Either he's going to be happy or he's going to be very upset with me. It's one of the two. There's no in between. I don't think. Either he's going to say, good job, everything looks good, let's get you downstairs to get you set up for physical therapy, how many days a week that he's going to want me to go, all that good stuff. If he's upset with me, that means I'm going back under the knife, and it's going to be a much longer recovery process. Because if something else has happened and he has to do a bone graft, they're going to have to take the bone out of my pelvis, which means an even longer operation, and probably even longer recovery time. So, yeah, that might keep me out of commission for quite some time. So we'll hopefully we'll see. So hopefully I'll have news tomorrow. By tomorrow afternoon, I'll post or at least kind of come up with some kind of a plan. It may not be that week. It may be the following week. Also, tomorrow, this is officially my last flight in the sim before Sim Update 12 and all the coming fixes and whatnot, especially the whole WASM thing. So yeah, this is a bit of a goodbye to the old Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, because hopefully after tomorrow, whatever time it gets released, and I don't know what time it will be, this will usher in a really new era for us on the Xbox side, and things will dramatically improve and all that. That's the hope. That's the wish. That is the all that stuff, all the tender stuff. We don't want to get too tender. It's too early still for Joseph to get all tender in the chat. Oh, I gotta get ready to take a picture along the way as well. Let me do this. There we go. That. Pardon me, I gotta I gotta blow my nose because it's really. All right. Yeah, my sinuses are all jacked up today. Whew. Alrighty. So, a few more minutes and we'll spawn in and get ready to go. I want to give everybody the opportunity. Anybody wants to join in and is putting their flight plan together. All right. Yeah, I think we can go ahead because I gotta get some things set up in the aircraft before we go. Uh, I think we're close enough. If anybody, it's gonna be a bit of a long one, so I want to get in the air so we get. I can download this before we get on the farm tonight. Might be a quiet chat today. So there's our crazy little airfield. All right, let's do that. Wheel. And what else do I need to do? All the lights are on. Add a little bit of light in, and just in case something crazy happens. Okay. We're gonna fly live weather because it looks like our the weather's halfway decent. So let's see, what else do I need to do? That. Okay. Oh, let's double check our weights. Everything's all right. So we're all filled up. Plenty of gas to get us there. Oh, I gotta dial in my 10,000 feet. That's what I gotta do. All right, so that's all set. That should, as soon as I hit the autopilot, then that should go. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and get going then. Today's flight brought to you by Parasox Airline. Parasox Airline, just because you have a pair of socks does not mean they have to match. Airline CEO Scruffy Tan will show you his mismatched socks in his stream if you ask him very nicely. He's not ashamed to show you. Feels like we're... The way the plane's shuddering, it's like we're... Right, hold on a second. I gotta make sure. See, this is what happened before the other day when I was testing the plane. It was not climbing. Let's see if it does it on its own now. See, it noses over, and then it's like it. Yeah, see, it's not working like I expect it to. Yeah, see, it's like it takes time for it to... Oh my god. Oh, trust me, I'd like to expedite my climb. All right, maybe now it's working. It's wanting to work, but it's like it won't take the command. Like it's just acting all kinds of weird all of a sudden today. All right, let's get our mixture back here. All right, now it's finally climbing. Man. No, not a pair. Pears of fruit, Joseph. Come on. Oh, Lordy. Joseph Adams, ladies and gentlemen. You never know what's going to come out of that young man's mouth. All right. Let's have a look outside here. There we go. All right, now finally. But he calls it Parasox. All right, we're finally on our way. pear. The way you said it, Joseph, that's a fruit, not a. It's Monday, Joseph. It's too early for this. Anyways, all right, we're on our way. We got this part of our flight. So this is just we'll get there fairly quickly. It was only 40 something, 50 something nautical miles, and then so anyway, that's Scruffy Tam's virtual airline, Parasox Air, because he is is well known as the Lord of the Socks on amongst the flight simming community. He always has very unusual socks. The hand-knitted ones from Kaharia's mom. Not that they're unusual. He just likes to be a little bit different. That's his thing. And so, Infidel Fireman gave him the idea to create a virtual airline called a Parasox Airlines. So I am a proud member. I am a first officer. Still got like 70 more hours or something before I qualify for promotion to captain. I think I'm going to be flying, hopefully, I'm going to be flying a lot. Whether I stream it or not is, might be the only difference, but, bit of a crosswind there. Some clouds over the inland here, over our route. Yeah, happy to be part of Parasox Airline. Good morning, Mick. At least Mick didn't say good morning R or morning R. Mick, we got to sort out that young man, I tell you. He just puts morning R. I'm like, okay, well, who you say morning to? Wanted to tell you, I did enjoy that farming game that you and Bex did on Saturday. It was something different. Although I would agree with you, having some of the stuff they had you do right off the bat for the tutorial seemed to be a bit excessive, like time wise. Like that last trout, or Bex was saying something about the chickens, that the chickens were taking forever too. Yeah, that's something they need to maybe patch. I am on my way to 10,000. Oh, maybe my initial was 7 or 8. Maybe that's what it was. Well, I'm still on my way to 10. But yeah, that was a pretty interesting game. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Something different. I have to admit though, when you said farming, except this time Bex, I was like, no way. How did Mick convince Bex to get on FS22? She was like so adamant about it that I was like, okay, what did he like buy her like a lifetime chocolate subscription or something? But yeah, that was pretty cool. It's something different. Yeah, that figures. That figures. But yeah, it's a neat little game. I'd never heard of it before. But yeah, the tutorial seemed to be a bit uh excessive in the what they wanted from you to complete the tutorial. But yeah, I like it because there's part of it is the I think it has a bit of an element of when you guys played Astroneer. Not so much puzzle solving, but you know, having to plant things and you know, have some kind of a plan and all that, and you know, to meet certain goals. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So 5 people watching. Thank you all for coming in. It's fluctuating. I had 7 just a moment ago, but that's all good. I know it's Monday. Some people are still waking up. Do tell, Joseph. Do tell. Stunning commentary from young Joseph. It was interesting. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it was my. This is just my observation. Towards the end there, when you guys were, it was like there was just a few things you needed to do to get the tutorial completed. It was like the game was just it that time the passage of time seemed to like really slow way down, you know, and because yeah, it was getting to that point where you're just like, I just want to get this trout in, and it was like that, and then you wanted to put down that other gas pump station or whatever, and then you were done, and all right, we should be at 10,000 feet. Should be leveling off here. Oh, wait a minute. Why is it climbing still? We're going a little bit above 10,000. Yeah, yeah, that's true too, Mick. I can understand that. Yeah, you don't want to. You still want to have lots to do, and yeah, this thing is just acting all kinds of crazy today. I can't get it to drop a couple 100 feet. All right, we should be good to go now. We should be in that tolerance level. Why is it climbing now? Why does it want to climb? All right, now it's leveling off. Nope. Now it must be the wind or something because I'm not telling it to climb. It's climbing on its own. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, plane, settle down. All of a sudden today, the system doesn't want to work. It worked fine the other day. Now all of a sudden it wants to do its own thing. I know it's Monday. Plane's not happy. It's got to be the weather. That's the only thing I can think of. But I think we're within that tolerance. We should be fine the rest of the way. There we go. See, now it's kind of correcting its own because I think I needed to update the altimeter. So, anyway, all right. You don't say, Joseph. You don't say. Oh, it's ad time. I just looked over and the ads are playing. So sorry if you're watching ads. I think we can get a picture here real quick. All these planes misbehaving. There we go. All right, so we're almost at our first nav point there. I think we'll fly. Well, there's giggles, of course, to be had until somebody in the chat. Well, I don't even want to go there. Never mind. I agree, Mick. I'm going to leave it at that. So, 1,000 miles of Sebring. Toyota did win. I think they once again withheld information from the FIA and the governing body when it comes to the performance of their car. But Ferrari did get on the podium first time out with their new prototype, so that's awesome, but it wasn't the win I was hoping for. But I think Toyota needs to be hit with a massive balance of performance. I think they have been withholding how quick their car really is. They don't qualify on the front row in order to mask how quick they really are, which I know lots of teams do that. They sandbag, right? But this has been notorious that going back to before, when Toyota was the lone LMP1 with the hybrid engine, they were doing that. So they need to be. I think they need to be severely penalized for it with a performance where they have to dial it back, and it has to be a fair fight, because they're not acting fair. They're not conducting themselves in an honorable way. Cadillac won the 12-hour Sebring. Although when I was watching, so for those of you who don't know, the Acura who won the 24 hours of Daytona back in January, they got penalized because the tire pressure data had been manipulated, and IMSA handed down a 200-point deduction for all the drivers. They lost their points in the Michelin Cup Challenge. They lost their prize money. They had to give that back. Plus, they were fined $50,000. Team principal Michael Shank is on probation until June of this year. The engineer who did all that was his IMSA, I guess, licensing or whatever to work for a racing team within IMSA has been indefinitely suspended, and the team fired him. And then Honda Performance Development, HPD, which provides the engines for the Acura powered prototypes, they put out oh wow, it was a very damning statement. They said, we work with all these teams. We expect them to be to act, to not do something like this. It was basically kind of like, if this happens again, we're going to drop that team kind of thing. Like, they're not having it. It was just they were just like, nope. That's not how we operate. Well, they need to talk to those jackasses over in Toyota, because I think there's some serious data manipulation going on over there. And it's been glossed over, and they're like, oh, it's okay, it's not a big no. So yeah, they got really hammered, and so yeah, I'm kind of getting the feeling that if that team has any more issues this year, where somebody is suspected of manipulating information, that Acura is going to pull their support for that team. That team is going to cease to exist on the grid, because nobody's going to want to work with them, I don't think. So yeah, crazy stuff in the weekend of motorsports. I don't even want to talk about the Formula One race. Nope. I'm happy who won, but once again, someone's on the podium, and everybody's, oh, he's the greatest ever. No. I have a question. I like to ponder this for a moment. If Fernando Alonso's as good as they say he is, how come Alpine wasn't doing so hot then? Right? If it's the driver, like they're claiming now, because suddenly it's the resurgence, it's the second coming of Fernando Alonso. No. If he's that good, why wasn't he that good at Alpine? If I was Alpine, I'd be like, where was this Fernando Alonso? Right? If it's him. So it's either the package that Alpine had didn't suit his driving style, which is possible, just like the package that Aston Martin had did not suit Sebastian Vettel. But now all of a sudden, this year, this Aston Martin suits Fernando Alonso's driving style, possibly. So I don't think it's necessarily down to the driver anymore. It may be the package, but it's not. If it's the driver, then how come he couldn't extract the same performance out of the Alpine? So I don't. That's why I don't think he's that great. The era of working, working with the engineers and the aerodynamic folks and all that, because everything's frozen. There's once you design the car, that's it. You're stuck until another season or two, right? So, but I think honestly, Aston Martin and Mercedes AMG, they owe a huge apology to Sebastian Vettel for not giving him this car earlier on when he was there. Because if I was him and I was looking at that, and Fernando Alonso is getting two consecutive third places so far this season, I'd be like, why couldn't I gotten that car? You know, and it's bad. I feel bad for him because it's part of it too might be that he feels that he could have done or did he do enough? Was it really on him? You know, so I just think that it's tragic. But I'm not gonna sit there and go like, yeah, nope. You hired the double world jerk. You are the villain of the piece now. That's how I feel about it. You hire for any team to hire Fernando Alonso, Toyota, villains of the piece. Aston Martin, villains of the piece. For a while, Ferrari, villains of the piece. But no, I think that if I were Sebastian Vettel, I'd be going out of my mind right now. Like, really? I leave and now all of a sudden you guys get a better car? That's got to be a bitter pill to swallow. But if I think about it, that's the second time a Mercedes AMG powered car has done a German driver wrong. First it was Michael Schumacher. They didn't give him a very good car, I don't think. Suddenly Lewis Hamilton shows up. Oh, it's like the greatest thing ever. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's the second time. It's like they have this bitterness towards German drivers. I don't know why, but they do. They sure do. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, it was the Wheel and Action Express Cadillac. I was hoping they would win because they're the only Cadillac team that I can root for. I won't root for the Wayne Taylor Racing Acura because they're also villains of the piece because they had Fernando Alonso as a driver. Boy, lots of villains out there, aren't there? Terrible. And that's what happens when you hire somebody like him to drive for you. At least Corvette won in their class under the World Endurance Championship. That was good. The lone Corvette there. Oh, I wish I could have been at Sebring though. Boy, the weather looked fantastic. They said the all the camping spots were filled. Like they had to stop selling. They had sold out of all the camping spots there at the track. Yeah, I miss going to races. Yeah, I would have liked to have been there that season to see the debut of the Ferrari uh, prototype. But anyway, what else is going on? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But boy, that Meyer Shank Racing. When one of the TV presenters read the statement from HPD, man, that was like a. I'm sure there was a much more uh, stringent phone call that took place once the decision had been handed down about the penalties and all that. They basically said, "Yep, we agree with IMSA. You know, we're not gonna. This is inappropriate." But yeah, I would imagine that there was a much more either a face-to-face meeting or a phone call or something to the team principals of Meyer Shank Racing. As a matter of fact, I would almost be willing to bet, if I was a betting person, that Honda may pull, once this season's over, they may pull support engines from Meyer Shank Racing. I bet you they cease to exist after this season. That'd be my guess. But I could be wrong. You never know. It's been known to happen. So, Mick, if you're still in the chat, I was thinking about this last night before I went to sleep. You were already probably sawing the logs over on the other side of the world. Um, with Sim Update 12 coming out tomorrow, I think it would be prudent for you to kind of test your stuff once you download that update. And it's not, I don't think, well, see, on the PC, I don't know if it's optional. There are supposed to be fixes beyond what's coming for the Xbox, like there's weather and traffic, all kinds of stuff. So you might want to test your stuff, make sure everything works like it's supposed um, to before we try to do a flight on the stream for the Iron Maiden tour. Because I don't know how it's going to affect. Well, I don't know how it's going to affect the Xbox yet, but there is like a whole. It's not just the Wasm thing that's coming for the Xbox. It's like a whole bunch of other stuff. So you may want to check on all that before. Uh, if you have time today, I would look at it. What the list of what's coming tomorrow sometime. So if we wanted, if it takes a couple days for you to get everything sorted again, and we want to try a flight on Friday, we can do that if you want. Um, just so that you have time to kind of get your all your stuff sorted again. Well, it's up to you. Just knowing that sometimes all that stuff, it does tend to reset a bunch of things, and I just figured I'd give you the chance that before we try taking Bruce and the band to their next destination in Leipzig, that you get your sim sorted again, because you may have to go back in and remap your controls and all that as well. So I'm guessing. I don't know if that. Sometimes it seems like that's what happens when people get the next sim update. They have to go back in and put all their controls back in. So. So you may have to do a bit of a. All right, 148 nautical miles to our. Yeah, I was just thinking about that last night. That yeah, with that coming, and I know usually you seem to have like it takes a while for it to for everything to kind of settle down on your sim again once you download the update. But yeah, we're supposed to get better weather. There was like a whole bunch of stuff. Somebody did a quick little video about it. That it was all major stuff. Some of the planes are going to get some overhauls as well. Uh, I think the DC-3 will get a bit of a overhaul. Wow, look at this crosswind. Good thing I gassed this thing all the way up, because otherwise it would be a... Alright, I'm going to go to the auxiliaries here for a little while. Start using up that. Well, the good thing about flying down here is we don't have a lot of air traffic every 2 seconds bugging us about talk to this center, talk to that center. You know, good stuff. But hopefully, I don't know if you're lurking in the background and having your lunch, Mick, or what. But I just figured that would be maybe a good plan. But you let me know how you want to handle it. We'll do the best we can. I don't know. I'm excited, but I'm cautious. I'll just say I'm cautiously optimistic about what's getting ready to happen tomorrow. I really hope this goes well, but I can't help but think that there's a monster in the closet right around the corner. We won't know how bad the monster is until we get there. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. But yeah, tomorrow we will get the AN-225, the big jet that was destroyed in Ukraine, over in Ukraine, not the Ukraine, in Ukraine. Uh, and another, it's a AN, it's like a bush plane from Ukraine or Russia or something. Like it's one of those. It looks interesting. I don't know. It's like a local legend or something, maybe, or flying legend or something. I think that's what it is. One of the flying legends or something. So that's definitely coming Tuesday with the Sim Update 12. Thursday, rumor has it we're supposed to get the Osprey in the marketplace. Now, last Thursday it was there, and I was like, really? And then I refreshed the forum page, the news, and it was like PC only. I'm like, you twist that knife a little bit, just jab and twist a little bit. Get that last dig in before the before Sim Update 12, because like, would have been so terrible if we could have just ordered it and then had it so that when Sim Update 12 hit on Tuesday, we could have started flying it right then and there. Like, it would have been that difficult to do. Really? So, yeah, apparently that's supposed to come Thursday, the Osprey. So that means we can also. Uh, oh, what I was saying, Mick, is because of the Sim update tomorrow, and I don't know what time it's getting released. It may be like around 4 or 5 your time again, or maybe earlier. I don't know. That maybe we should. You probably need to double check all your stuff before we try flying for Iron Maiden again. You may have to reset all of your control stuff. Map everything out again. So, um, so if we want to just shoot for Friday for a flight, that way that gives you a couple days to test your stuff, um, and make sure that it's all ready to go, and do a couple test runs just to make sure that it's all, you know, working as intended as much as possible. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. That with on the PC side, it seems like that it takes some PC simmers some time to get things back to where it was before the sim update. You know, so I just figured that would give you a couple days, because I know sometimes you're like, you do all these things in order and then it still doesn't work and you got to go back and try. So I just figured, if we just shoot for like that Friday or even that Saturday or something to do a flight or two, that'll give you the time to get things sorted. So figured that would work out better. I am excited. I'm really hoping this thing goes well. But yeah, as I was saying, if the Osprey comes this Thursday, that would give us another kind of something to fly off and on with, on those that amphibious ship that I took off on the F-35. See, I can take off because you can only take off vertically in the Osprey. You take off and land vertically. The rotors are so huge that you can't you can't land it like a normal plane. You have to land it like a helicopter, essentially. So I thought that would be something that we could do eventually as well. I'll do that in the stream maybe. Uh, you know, but so yeah, that's supposed to be coming to the sim, uh, and all that. So yeah, lots of, but there's a lot of things that are supposed to be getting fixed. Fingers crossed, it is a massive improvement, not just for the Xbox folks with the Wasm thing, but the for the PC folks as well, with hopefully with traffic and weather fixes and stuff like that. So yeah, be nice. Not that like, this seems like this is live weather right now, so this seems like it's pretty decent in the clouds look fairly realistic, as much as is possible on the Xbox Series S. So 125 nautical miles to go. This may be actually a 4-hour flight the way it gets going, but we'll see. was we have a massive, after this, we have a 212 nautical mile leg. So, it looks better than on your PC. You know, I was watching Scruffy last night, and uh, Marco, who also he flies helicopters generally. Um, he said he had to now, like, look at this. This is all, and I think it's because of the terrain, the way that this is modeled. Like, it's all, look, it's all patchy, right? It doesn't look all well put together. So it may just be that when they flew over this area, they're just kind of like trying to guess this. It's like it's kind of guessing what's going on here. That what we just flew over right here. Um, but he said that they had to get it put his settings down to medium for the graphics, like a medium sort of setting, in order. Otherwise, the sim stutters a lot. So I'm wondering if that, like, when you're at the airport and you're pushing back, kind of thing. I'm wondering if that has a lot to do with it. Is maybe you got to drop your graphics setting a little bit to get it to behave, to be a little bit smoother. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. But like, there's these areas that do look a bit like yuck, like right there. That this whole thing back in here, and it may just been there. Might When they flew over, there might have been massive cloud cover over that area, and that's the result of that. I don't know that they would ever be able to clean it up, because how are they going to get a better image if there's always clouds in the area, for instance? That kind of muddies the picture, you know. Or is it muddied on purpose for some reason? You know. So there's no telling. But it may just be the terrain and all that. Well, I mean, look, I don't know. When you fly, it looks pretty good from what I can tell. You know, but it also that we're on Twitch, we're on the Posh channel. We don't have all that, but the what do you call it? The compression on that you get on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good, but I've seen it now. Of course, it's if you have a PC that's like high end, it's got the best graphics card and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it can look phenomenal. But sometimes even all that, the sim the computer can be a bit overwhelmed. The graphics card can be overwhelmed, and it's like you got to drop it down to a different setting. But it still looks pretty decent. You know. Yeah, I think you need to drop your settings a bit, Mick, in order to get in order for your PC not to struggle so much. But that's my guess. Uh, which one are we going to? Yeah. I mean, the Xbox struggles a bit now. I think if I had an X, which has a bit more graphics processing power than the S does, it might be a bit better. Some people have said they've tried both, and the X is a bit better when it comes to the graphics. But I don't know that I have. Uh, it is at yikes, that's not good. If it's already at the lowest setting, dang. Yeah, that okay. Wow. Yeah, because I think there was a lot of people who had older PCs, and they're like, "Yeah, I can make it work," but but I think unfortunately it's kind of like the next gen, old gen console thing. There may come a point where it's gonna really bog down on your PC. Ooh, a little air pocket there. It seemed like a little roller coaster ride. Hold on tight, folks. Yeah, because if you don't have a better graphics card, then it can be I'm guessing that's what it really boils down to. I don't know what else it would be, but yeah, that's but getting a new a better graphics card. Scruffy updated his, and he was still having stutters. That's the thing I think that doesn't make a whole lot of sense sometimes is if you have this stuff and it's all at its you've got apparently it's supposed to be the best stuff available. Why aren't why is it still having issues? There's another area. Look at this. Boy, this wind is really having a. They're like zigzagging all over the place. Wow. Boy, this thing really wants to climb. And then it goes down, and then it goes back up. Boy, this is really a roller coaster ride. I think yeah, it is, Mick. I agree. I agree. I mean, a tower with all the best stuff is still. I think if all I got was the tower itself, it's still for. I'm guessing it would be about $5,000 just for the tower alone, with all a solid state drive, a really good graphics card, really good processor, plenty of memory. You know, uh, yeah, 5 grand easily. I think just for the tower, and it'd be another, say, ballparking it five or another $1,000 just for the yoke throttle and pedals. Get the best some really decent stuff. So yeah, it's not cheap. You know, but yeah, it's So I don't even know how old your computer is. You know, if you plugged in a different graphics card, for instance, you know, would your motherboard be able to handle it? Would the computer be able to handle a new graphics card, or would you have to add some different stuff as well on top of the graphics card? I'm guessing Pulse might know better than about that if he would have any idea as to what would work, what wouldn't. He's pretty tech savvy. Yeah, it's like you might as well change like the graphics card, get better, more memory, and a better processor. But at the same time, for that cost, you might as well just get a new PC instead of trying to you know that's the only other option. But some people just they build it up themselves and uh, they know how to do all that. I wouldn't know how to you know I wouldn't trust myself to build my own PC. you know I'm still hopeful. Eventually, I will like to get a decent gaming PC that can handle things on it. Handle this sim on a fairly reasonable uh, way. I guess it may stutter a little bit, but it's pretty smooth. Uh, yeah, one day it'll happen. Well, anywho, hopefully everybody's doing well. Can't believe it's 8 o'clock already. We still got a lot of flying left. We're still on our way to our first. So the one that we passed, that was our part of our departure route. Now we're on the cruise phase. So we've got still 85 nautical miles to get to Golf Victor 012. And it's saying it's going to take 2 hours to get. Yeah, this is not going to be. I think this is one of those times in the sim that the time it was grossly underestimated. So I'm thinking this is going to be a bit of a long one, folks. That's okay. We're gonna plug on. I'll still be ready to get on the farm tonight, Mick. I can assure you. How's oh oh okay, nice. So on the, let's see, 29th is what day? That's a week from Wednesday. Yeah. I won't be I won't be available that day. I got to go get my eyes checked on the 29th in the morning, and they're going to dilate my pupils, so um, it'll take most of the day for my eyes to readjust, I'm sure. So I won't be if I'm in somebody's stream, I'll be watching, but I probably won't be looking at the computer very much. I'll probably be listening more than watching. So, but hopefully by evening time, my eyes will be, a bit. My pupils will be back to normal. But, um, yeah, that's like my least favorite part of my eye exam. The puff of air, all that stuff. Just I I'm my I automatically blink. It's like that. There's just no no way around it. There you go, Joseph. You be ready for tonight. Uh huh. You know, no, I'm not gonna say nothing else. Let me just not comment. See, I never would have thought that that would have been part of the like um slot count or anything. That why would it? But see, that again, that's one of those limitations between old gen and next gen that isn't really known until something like that happens where he was trying to join and then it wasn't having it. you know uh but I digress. Well, that's why Mick's wanting to get started at a certain time, Joseph. So if you could, please, for the sake of everybody's sanity, could you be ready? Could you have your dinner already, maybe, hopefully, so that we can get on with things? You know, try to be there when Mick says let's get things sorted so before we go live. Could you please do that? Pretty please with chocolate cake on top. Because I think it'd be hard for Mick to try to sort that stuff during the stream. The pausing and the back, all that stuff. Just yeah, if you could be there. you know, that would be a major help. But I know, I already know what's going to happen. In one ear, not the other, right? Well, but you're right, Mick. But also, nobody nobody could have foreseen that sort of limitation because Joseph's on the PS4. You know, it's one of those. If Pulse hadn't, I wouldn't have never guessed to look. Well, part of it is I don't know what Joseph's error code was, but I would have never have suspected that it was something to do with all the stuff that you have, uh, all the boxes, all the stuff that has to be sold to make, so that he can join. You know, that would never made sense. Well, it doesn't make sense to me. What am I saying? Um, but yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice if all that stuff, but I think the other unfortunate reality is most gamers are not thinking about the the older gen console players. Because if you're still on an older gen console, that's, well, your friends aren't gonna. Somebody was talking about they had. Who was I was watching? Maybe it was when I was watching Sergeant Staff do his long flight in the DC-6 on Saturday. Somebody I was watching, somebody was commenting that they had friends who they used to play a lot of games on the Xbox, but now a lot of people have left the Xbox and gone uh, over to PS5, and so they don't have a lot of people. The people that they used to play games with are no longer available. Kind of thing. So, and you're right. That's part of it too. you know and so it becomes, unfortunately, as much as you try to make. Oh, there's an airport right there. Look at that. You see the runway right there. Make a do things so that well, there is, but that's, again, it's like, well, it sucks that it impacts somebody like Joseph, who can't, you know, well, whatever you want to call it. Getting a PS5 is not something that is on the horizon anytime soon. Okay, for whatever reasons, and we won't get into that. But the but that means that it starts to limit when people can do things with players on who still have an older console, right? So it's just one of those. It's unfortunate, but it's one of those realities that it's just like, well, if you don't have this machine, I can't keep trying to try to sort out what might be causing your inability. The bottom line just may be, you got an old machine and it sucks, but it is what it is. You know, that's just how it goes. So just like with most games, especially sooner or later, and I think before the end of this year, a lot of new games, it's going to be next gen only, and people who are on the older gen consoles, you're going to be left behind. That's just how it goes. So either you make some changes and you say, okay, I'm going to get it, I'm going to get this, I'm going to start saving up. I can target a date that hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months, for instance, I can have a new PS5 or new Xbox so I can play with my friends again. Otherwise, that's, what else do you expect people to do? You know, and like Mick said, if that doesn't solve the problem, it just may be, well, your machine's old and it sucks, but that's just the truth of the matter. You know, so then it means you find a small farm and you just do your own thing. You know, that your machine can handle. You know, maybe some people can join you on yours, you know, but there are small farms out there that you can do everything on your own. You know, I know that doesn't sound very appealing, but that's just part of, you know, sometimes that's just how it goes. But you have, there's decisions that have to be made if you want to be able to game with your friends here within the next year or so. If you don't have a new machine, you're not going to be able to do it. You know, that's the unfortunate reality. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who will give up their PS5. They'll sell it used. You could probably get it at a discount. The only thing that you may need to get is a new controller, because apparently the new controllers don't last for very long either. They wear out very quickly. So, you know, there's options out there, but it's a choice that you have to make. You know. But I know I'm it's all in one ear and out the other. I might as well be talking to myself right now. But it, you know, but the other thing too is, so if it is a limit, why should why should the limit be imposed on next gen players? Like, you know, which, you know, because look what happens when he joins. Our slot count goes way down, right? When he joins, all of a sudden it goes from like a really good number to like 2,600 or something like that, right? Which does limit, you know, limit things. So that's why, you know, again, it's one of those things that, you know, most next gen players are gonna be like, I'm not gonna have somebody on an older console join me, and our slot count goes down because I have all the equipment that I need to run my farm. You know, that's what I want, is all this, you know. So, um, so yeah, there's I don't know. Like I said, I know I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but all right, we're getting a little bit closer now. We got 37, almost 36 nautical miles to our nav point, somewhere way out there. Yeah, that's oh, the ads are running now. Yeah, I think if you ask Pithers, uh, Nick, I'm sure he'll tell you exactly that. Yeah, there is a limit of some kind on the older consoles. They can't have as much. You can have, like, if you have a small map, or even a decent sized map with some decent sized fields, you can still get some decent enough equipment to run your farm and be able to get things done very quickly, right? But you're not gonna be able to have you're not gonna be able to have every single thing on there that the next gen consoles have. So it's like it becomes, kind of like when the DLC limit was imposed on the Sony machines for Train Sim World 2 and 3, right? And now they finally got that all sorted, but then it became a matter of, okay, which route is more important for me? Which one do I like to play the most? I'll have that one, and then I'll play that as much as I can, and then I'll do other stuff, right? So I think that's where the older gen consoles are now. Something like with what happened with Joseph. If the what do you call it? If the he has to he may have to minimize, in order for people to play with him. He's going to have to set up something where it's a decent sized farm. A couple people can join him. It's not going to overload his PS4 or whatever. But those are all considerations that you have to kind of really pay attention to in order for you to play with your friends. You have to be able to give them some consideration as well. But I think the considerations are running out. As as more people have access to the next gen consoles now, finally, at prices that are fairly affordable. I'm still eyeing a PS5, if only to make joining the farm a little bit easier. That'd be the main reason for me. That I don't know that I would do it for anything else. It would just make things simpler for us to. But if that's the only reason I'm doing it, is it practical for me to spend $400 or $500 on a PS5? you know, Maybe I would get Gran Turismo 7. I don't know. But there's uh it just would make, because look how many times it takes sometimes for me to find you and be able to join you on the farm. Whereas if I was on a PS5, you could just shoot me an invite, dang, problem solved right there. You know. And so then we would be able to get down to business a lot quicker. So that's you know. But then again, I'd be getting in. Joseph would be, get this game, Rob. Play this game with me, and I'd have to break his heart every time. No, no, and no. I would like to play Division 2 with Pulse. I think that would be fun. Yeah, I think I would enjoy that. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think we could get through DC and get over to New York and get our watches and drive on from there and level up our watches. Heck, I would be even half tempted to like what do you call it? They call it boost your character, and then just go to New York right away and just get you guys through the story. You know. Yeah, I do too, but I like I left my Div 2 clan yesterday. Um, A, because there's no like when you're new to the game, it helps to be in a clan, especially an established one, because you do get some access to some better gear along the way. But there, if you know where to go to find gear, you can get stuff that will help you out, and you don't really have to spend any money. Like they'll drop stuff for you. You just may have to buy a different weapon here and there if you want. Um, but so yeah, even if I boosted my character, you can't you it only works if you boost your character if you have a character that has a watch already, because then you have to it takes a while to every time you level up you have to pick something to put on into your watch. um you know so it would just be it's another grind to improve your watch and get your character even better, although it's not like a massive improvement. And then you also have your expertise where you have to donate stuff into this system until it gets to a certain point, and then you can, like, weapons, you can add more damage or something like that, more armor, you know all kinds of stuff. Um but yeah, it's a fun game, but it's I think it's near the end of its life. You know, it's not the same um, as it was when it first came out. I think there's one more year of content coming, and then pretty much they're done with new content for that game for the time being, or for good. So, all right. We're almost at our nav point there. There's 10, just under 10 nautical miles to go. Right there. All right. It's got to be somewhere up here, it looks like, I'm guessing. But yeah, I would enjoy that. I think that would be fun to. That would give me another reason to get the game or get a PS5. But I also like I when I played Div 1, and you would encounter people in safe houses, and they're like, "Hey, I'm stuck. Can you help me out?" And so basically, and they're always looking for people whose character levels are you've basically completed the game, and you've got a good gear set and all that. And so basically, it's like they want you to carry them through content, but they don't learn how to play the game. Right? They don't develop good habits as far as like firing from cover. They just think it's, I'm just going to run out there and you know and I'll kill the enemy before they kill me. No, that doesn't always work. You have to be a bit smarter about it. or have a gear set that allows you to go and fight the bad guys face to face. But that takes time to get it there and all that. So, uh, so yeah, I know, I know if I do this and we do get on Div 2 together, somebody's gonna want to join, and it's gonna be, you know, we're gonna be doing the hard work for that person. I'm not gonna name names, and but they're not going to learn to play the, you know, like there's times where it's good to partner up, and there's times where it's like you like to run on your own, you know. Uh, so the only drawback is if I would lose, like, getting like all the stuff I have on my character right now on Div 2, it doesn't transfer over to the PS5 side. So I would lose my Eagle Bearer that I got from the raid, all my exotics, everything. It would just be like a you know, it'd be like running through the mud. It would take me forever to build all that back up, you know. But I don't know. I think it would be interesting to say, you know. All right, there we go. 212. All right, last leg. Here we go. Last big leg. We're headed for the coast. So yeah, that'd be my only. I would not. I would not do the hard work for somebody else. I've done it before, and it sucks. It really does. So I would have to be a very adamant no on that. But yeah, I've done it before, but it's a lot of work, and if the person that you're dragging through the game isn't doing the work, oh yeah, yeah. Like I see, like when I did it before, or like I was gonna do that on my fourth character on Div 2. I was gonna, you know, I deleted it and I was like, let me just go through and but it's like, oh man, it's so, like, that road to get there is so long, and I'm just like, no, I can't do it. So I boosted it right to New York and did New York on my own, which it wasn't easy. It wasn't difficult. It was a bit of a challenge, but it was okay. I got to 40 before I got to the final boss there in New York, which is the goal if you can, especially if you have characters that are, you know, that you've been playing with and you've got gear that you can set aside for that character. That's what I did, and it worked. You know, I was able to do it, beat the final boss by myself. It was not easy. I felt like I was going to die at any moment, but I got through it. Got my watch again for the umpteenth time, and put all my points in my watch, and there we go. So it's possible to do. Is just, I think it would be nice to have, part of it is to play with people who who played the game before, but now it's like a fresh perspective, right? Um, Whereas most of the people that I played Div 2 or played with over on the Xbox side, they're it's not about take, you know, like when I did New York on my own, the great thing was I took my time and I did stuff the way I wanted to do it. Not a 2.5 hour speed run to get my watch, but just I I did each section in turn. I didn't rush through stuff, and it was fine. Whereas other people want to, everything's got to go quick, 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 quick. Yeah, but if you take the time and go through it, I think that's what I would enjoy if I did it with you and Pulse. You guys know the game, but it would be a fresh perspective because you haven't played the game in quite a long time. So there's all this new content, all this gear sets and everything. And trying to, it's, as I always call it, it's like taking the pieces of the puzzle and putting them together so that you have a gear set that you can do a lot of damage to the bad guys and you don't get killed that often, if possible. If you play smartly, you can. You could survive a lot. So, uh, yeah, it's but yeah, I would be if somebody wanted to join and wanted us to drag them through the game. I would have to say no, nope, nope, not gonna happen. Sorry, but no. I don't know if I can make myself any clearer. Without hurting some feelings. Nothing more than feelings. Now see, this is the thing, like my manifold pressure needle keeps jumping. It's rather odd. I don't know why that is. I don't know. It's something I'm considering. I mean, it's probably more accessible to do that than a PC right now. Um, but again, the main thing for me would be to get it so that it would just be easier to join the farm and all that. For starters. Because I mean, the digital one isn't expensive now. The digital one, just like the Xbox Series S, is the cheaper option. Um, but then I'd have to. The other thing too would be paying for a PlayStation subscription. The whatever it's called. You know, but there, it yeah. PS Plus, yeah. So it's kind of like Xbox Game Pass, I guess, is what PS Plus is similar to. I don't know. It's an option. I'm thinking about it, but there again, there has to be a very clear understanding that it's not. I'm not going to be this. Oh, can you get this other game? And that's where I draw the line. You know, I know that that's not what some people may want to hear, but it's just that's the reality of it is I can't. I don't want it to be. Uh, oh, now that you're on the same system as like no. So it's called setting boundaries. That's what it is. Not rules, but I'm setting a boundary. Why does it seem like we have? Maybe we're not going to go right over it, but maybe to the left of this, there seems to be a big mountain right here. It's kind of hidden in those clouds. At least it looks like one, but I could be wrong. But the other thing too is are people going to respect those boundaries? And that's another issue all in itself. Yeah, well, because I think you've made your feelings clear as well, Mick. That that's not something that you're interested in, and so, but some people can't quite come to terms with that. I guess in a way, no. Some people have a hard time respecting other people's boundaries, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so, uh, yeah, that'd be my only main uh, thing, I guess. But you know, I could be overthinking it. Maybe, maybe not. You never know. Nope, there is a big mountain right there. So hopefully we're going to go to the left of it. We won't know until we get a little bit closer what's going to happen. We may have to climb a little bit higher. But yeah, it is an option. I'm strongly considering it just for the ease of things, you know. But see, the other thing too would be like if I streamed something from my PlayStation, uh, how would I link my Twitch account to for my PlayStation and be able to stream? Like instead of running, I don't know if I'd have to run everything through a laptop or a PC in order for that to work. All right, so once we get to this VORDME here in the distance, MCA, um, we will start to descend get ready to start descending into Rio de Janeiro. That's easy. Just click on what you want to stream on, and boom. Okay, kind of like how I have it set up now on my Xbox. I have it linked so that I don't have to do like a bunch of nonsense to get it to go. Like I don't have to use the Twitch app anymore, which is what was causing a lot of, like it would start and then it would stop. So now it's just a one click and done. So so that would be easy if I was going to stream something from there. At least that would, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's something that's on the table. I don't know when it might happen, but it's I'm just thinking about that. It seems like it's easier. Like the multiplayer, the cross-platform multiplayer seems to work less and less. There's always some kind of a hang up with it working appropriately. Or like we don't have to do a bunch of tries. You have to leave your farm, go back in and restart your game. Like if it's like Chris says he can't find you, but you can just shoot him an invite on through PlayStation, and then he can join right away. So that does simplify things, and it would make the streaming much quicker, getting things going. Yeah. And so that's like the same, like if I'm playing Div 2 with people and they're like, "Oh, can I join?" Yeah, I'll shoot you an invite. You know. And that way, like when we would do raids, we just everybody would get an invite, you would join the raid team, for instance, on Div 2. So that would make things a lot easier, I think. For the sake of getting things done on the stream. But and it would make it easier for you to once everybody's there, whether they join because they find you through the multiplayer thing, or if you just have to do the invite thing, it makes things a little bit smoother for you as the streamer, which I think should be what those of us who are joining you, that should be the goal, so that we can get things moving, because you only have a block of time to work with. And the more we lollygag, or the more we spend trying to sort problems out, that's less time that we have. Not getting any younger. Yeah, I know. Well, let me hold on a sec. I need to do a couple things here. Oh, no, I didn't mute my. I'll send you a message on Discord real quick, Nick. Work hard. Well, Joseph. Once again, nope, I'm not going to say anything. I'm trying to be a good person. I really am. I think your definition of work hard and other. Nope, never mind. You're, you're testing me today, aren't you, Joseph? You really are. You're trying to you're seeing if you can trigger me, aren't you? Yeah, I sent you a message on Discord, Vic, because I what that's I didn't want to put too much business out there, but I trust you to tell you those things. I enjoy it being on the farm. I like it when we get stuff done very quickly because Mick only has a certain amount of time. That's the key. Hey, Scruffy. Good morning. How are you? That's okay. I was running a little bit. I was almost running late myself this morning. I woke up super early, finally got back to sleep. Next thing I know, my alarm goes off at 6:15 this morning, and I'm just like, oh man, I got to get a move on. So we've been flying for quite some time, as you can tell. So, but welcome. How are you? Hey, thank you for the resub. 6 months. Thank you. Appreciate that. Much appreciated. Yeah, it was some fantastic flying the other night there in New Zealand. That's good to hear. Yeah, some really scenic areas there. Matter of fact, I think this is one of this is one of the legs that I gave you for Parasox Airline for the old Pan Am route that started in Miami and worked its way through South America all the way down to Argentina, I think. All the way down to the tip of South America, roughly, I think. Yeah. I think it's Parasox Flight 503. That's what you had in under on the FS Hub. So there's the airline CEO, everybody. Say hi to Scruffy. Parasox Airline CEO. The streamer with the mismatched socks. The socksiest streamer out there. So yeah, we're on our way down to the airport right inside the harbor of Rio de Janeiro here in Brazil. So we have 142 nautical miles to this VORDME, and then we'll start getting ready to land there in Rio de Janeiro. We're going to kind of go out over the ocean, and then we're going to turn in and kind of zigzag our way into the bay, and we'll be on the ground. We just have to worry about what's going to happen here in front of us because this mountain is looming ever closer. Oh, that's okay. No worries. That's okay. I'm not too concerned about it. I know you guys get to it whenever you can. So I didn't even look to see if I had gotten the the points or not, or my socks yet. So I did. I got a. Let's say socks awarded. There was one saying socks awarded. Oh, 350. There we go. Got it. But yeah, that's all good. Hopefully, Infidel Fireman will be get through his schooling and but who knows what his schedule is going to be like once he gets a job in that field. Did you catch Sergeant Staff's DC-6 flight across the Atlantic there, Scruff? He started super early in the morning and did, I think it was like a 14-hour flight in the DC-6. He went from Liverpool to JFK. It was a fantastic trip. He was all happy once he saw Newfoundland. He's like, finally, I can see land. Yeah. So yeah, I watched him not long after he took off, and then I stepped away for a while. Then I think I caught back up with him when he saw Newfoundland, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, that weather you told me about, I ran into it." I was like, "Oops." I was like, "Yeah, we had rain and snow and such," and he was like, "Yep, I encountered it. You weren't kidding." We were supposed to. It was crazy. Like I think when I went to bed Saturday night, we were getting alerts that we were, like pending doom. We were going to get snowed in again, or it was going to be this massive snowstorm. And I woke up the other morning, and it was like maybe it was Friday into Saturday. Yeah, I think it was Friday into Saturday. When we got like we were told, I got the alerts that we were going to get like there was this huge storm on its way, and be prepared, and then nothing really happened, and so yeah, that's I'm hoping that um, I'm really keen. I'm fingers crossed that nothing happens between now and tomorrow that's going to keep me from going to the see the surgeon to get the thumbs up that everything is going well and I can start physical therapy, or if I have to go under the knife again. If I have to go under the knife again, he's I know he's not going to be happy with me. He has to go back in there and repair something else. But as long as if it's something that was like there's like an infection developed or something like that, which I doubt because I don't think that's been the case. But if something happened internally, Amela, hello, good morning. How are you? I had beef and barley soup for dinner last night. Need a little something warm to get through the evening. Um. So yeah, if it's like the screws or the plates or anything have caused an infection of some kind, then that's out of my hands. And he said that the he said that is a possibility that some people do develop infections from the screws or the plates or the pins. So as long as none of that's happened and nothing's done, nothing that I've done to cause a problem, then I think everything should be on the okay. I'm okay, Mella. Yeah, just looking at this mountain, just wondering if we're going to make it over, or do I need to climb up higher? Update my altimeter. I'm a bit concerned that we're barely going to make it over, but I think we're going to make it. It just doesn't look like it right now. But yeah, thank you for the resub, Amela. Thank you, Scruffy, for your resub. Give a quick other shout out to Drunken Simming and Hop Unicorn for the follows over the weekend. I think Drunken Simming followed me during Scruffy, or not Scruffy, during Sergeant Staff's epic 14-hour flight there in the DC-6 from Liverpool to JFK. So thank you, Drunken Simming, for that. I don't know where Pop Unicorn came from. It's not a name that seems familiar from other streams that I've watched recently, so unless somebody was lurking and I just didn't know who they are. But thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subs. Appreciate it. Nice to see you here, Amilla. Are you, I think, are you getting ready to fast for Ramadan, Amilla? Are you going to go into hangry mode? Are we going to have to send you, Joseph, with a bunch of snacks for you to secretly eat? I was looking at my calendar on my phone, and I saw that was getting ready to happen. So I'm thinking you're about ready for your fasting, if I remember correctly. Well, I hope it's. I don't know what to say for something like that. Well, I hope it's a joyful Ramadan for you. I guess that's the best. I don't know what else to say. I hope it's, you enjoy everything. So happy Ramadan, I guess. I don't know. You're welcome. I'm not sure what's the proper, I don't know, etiquette. What's the proper thing to say? Is it like basically like happy holidays? I don't know how that works. But I'm sure you're going to be ready to eat up half of the delis in NYC once it's passed. I think you need to call all your usual places and tell them to order ahead. Yeah, I still remember when Namella was sampling baby Amy's baby food. Say, I'm doing a taste test. That's all. Don't worry about it. Don't look at me. Oh. All right, we made it over the mountains. It seems a lot higher than it is, so we do have some space. We're going to be okay. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Oh. When Amy's older, you got to tell her that story, Amella. That when Amy was just a little toddler, you were like, I stole some of your baby food. Ah, too funny. I can't believe it's been that many years since we've all known each other. Man, it's a where's the time gone? All right, we made it over the mountains here. Yeah, I would want to be there for that one for sure. Like, the look on her face would be like, really? You took my food? What's wrong with you? Oh. Yeah, you're gonna have to warn all the delis in the area, Mela, that you're once Ramadan's passed, you're gonna be on the prowl for every sandwich, everything you can eat that you can find in town. They better stock up now. Yep, I know you're not. I know. I might have to watch the news just to see if you end up on the news, Amela. A New York City resident goes on an eating spree in New York City. More at 11. uh, yeah. Joseph, you better be on your best behavior. You know, when Amela's hangry, you're going to get a talking to that you may not really like. Because, you know, Amela's not going to pull any punches. You better be very, very careful around Amela here this coming week. We were joking around. Yeah, we were joking around that on Saturday in Nick's stream, Amela, you missed it. I said, you know, Joseph, we're gonna get Amela to come over there, and you're gonna go on that one-way trip to the Bronx. You keep up your behavior. And Bex was like, "Don't scare him like that." I'm like, "He needs to be scared." And you never ask other. Yeah, exactly. Or they'll just, or Mello would be like, "What? You got any crisps? Where's your fish and chips? Where's your burgers?" Yeah. I think he needs that trip, Amilla. I think he needs that sorting out from Amilla in the Bronx. He has not necessarily been on his best behavior. Yep. That's why I was like, no, he needs to be scared. You need to be worried about Abella showing up and at your front door and taking you on a one-way trip across the Atlantic. You know, I think they had a similar thing. Although in the UK, I remember there was a show called Bad Lads Army where it was like a lot of these youngsters who were always in trouble. They were given an opportunity to serve, and some of them they turned their life around, and others it was like they were just kind of like they didn't care. And so they in America we had a show called Scared Straight, where kids who were like always in trouble, they would take them to a prison, and the prisoners would be like, well, if you keep up, this is what's going to happen. And yeah, I don't think so, Joseph. I doubt that. I highly doubt that. But that was I remember I've seen episodes on YouTube of Bad Lads Army, and yeah, yeah, I highly doubt Amela. I don't think Amela would fight fair. First off, so that you have that already against you, Joseph. Plus, Amela would be like, "Look over there. There's a corner shop." And you'd be like, "Where?" And then that would be it. Lights out. Look, there's a new mop store over there. You'd be like, "Where?" Lights out. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's I think that's what Joseph needs a dose of is the bit of Bad Lads Army. I always thought it was funny. I did laugh at it, but there were some people who generally it did turn their life around. And I think the same thing with the Scared Straight. Some of these kids are like, I don't want to end up like this. It took a little dose of reality for them to finally realize, maybe I don't want to be like this. Let's change our case again. Yeah, see, that's the appropriate contact with the Miller. I think would be cheesecake and latte or stroop waffles and latte. Then it would be a nice get together. It would be pleasant. And here comes Joseph. Hey, used to. That would be it. Then that look would just like, really chocolate cake. Oh, see, now see that would work with Bex, Joseph. Maybe. Although Chris ruined chocolate cake, I think, for Bex because I remember for a while he would always talk about shoving Bex's face in a chocolate cake. But yeah, I can't believe it's been that many years already. Man, seems like yesterday we were in Richard's streams sorting out new model bus and his silliness. You know, I haven't seen in a while is Ryan. Hope Ryan's okay. I haven't heard from Ryan in ages. So no, what really happened to Milla would be Joseph would come up and say, "Oh, here's the chocolate cake for you, Amela," and then you'd be like, "Thank you." And as you reach out to take it, he'd be like, "Oh, never mind. I'm keeping it." Yes, I would like that, Mick. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, I haven't heard from Ryan in ages. I think every once in a while he'd pop into a stream, but he might be super busy. Uh, yeah, it just seemed like it wasn't long ago that we were in mix or not mix. Richard's Train Sim World 2 streams, Farm FS19 streams. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's amazing how that time's gone by. You know, showing up in Joe's streams. I try to show up in Joe's streams, but my goodness. Oh, some of the people in his chat are just I can't hit the block button fast enough. You know, I really can't. It's just like somebody putting in the other day. I have a week of 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 next week. Not not oops, I meant to say a week off. Correcting it right away. No, I'm just going to let that stand. I said I have a week of next week. A week of what? You know, a week of what? It's like I don't know. I don't quite get it. Like if I look at something and I'm like, oops, I didn't put in, or something got misspelled, or I got, you know, what I said doesn't make any sense. I tried to correct it right away. No, that person just let it stand. I'm just like, wow, no, you're not even paying attention to what you're saying, you know. But what can you do? But yeah, I see Richard every once in a while in Joe's streams. Um, I don't remember the last time. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it would be like the one punch cake eater. Mabella would take the cake, and if Joseph reached back for the cake, there'd be one punch, and that would be it for Joseph. All right, ads are playing right now, folks. For you subs, you get to continue to see and hear the journey. For those otherwise, we'll see you on the other side of the ad break. I think I may take this opportunity to use the little captain's room. We have 73 nautical miles to go to get to our nav point somewhere out that away. But yeah, thank you all for being here. I think I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. I'll leave you outside here to enjoy the view. All right, I'm back. All right. Once again, today's flight brought to you by Parasocks Airline. Just because you have two socks that match, or just because you have two socks that look the same, does not mean that you have to wear them both at the same time. As I said, pair of socks last time, and Joseph said, just like that. He's already, see, you got fruit on the brain, Joseph, but you never like do anything about it, right? A pear, you could eat a pear. That's a healthy snack, not crisps or other junk food. CEO Scruffy Tan will show you his mismatched socks on his stream if you ask him nicely. He has a command and everything. You could even play fart sounds over on his stream. You can flush the toilet. All kinds of fun stuff happening over there on Scruffy's channel. He will be live tomorrow, I do believe, in the Vision Jet. I'm going to watch for a little while before I have to go see the surgeon. So, yeah, do go hang out in his stream tomorrow. Always a good time. Lots of fun, lots of laughs. Yeah, I'll watch for a bit tomorrow while I get myself set to go to see what the prognosis is. So I did change. I did kind of clean up the view here from the inside. I took off that the information that, even it was just minimal. It, out here this works. Inside I like it a little bit. It is a little bit nicer to have it a bit cleaner. So yeah. Yeah. So if you're looking for something to do flight sim wise, whether you're on the PC or the Xbox, go to FS Hub and look for Parasocks Airlines. Submit an application. We have routes now. We have Ryanair routes. We have Frontier Airlines routes. We got these old Pan Am route. We have a couple old Pan Am routes. We have one that goes from JFK up through to Nova Scotia, I believe. We also have one that goes from San Francisco to Hong Kong. And we have this route here that starts in Miami and goes through the east coast of South America. So yeah, if you're looking for something more to do with your Microsoft Flight Simming, do give Parasocks Airlines a consideration. Always nice to have more simmers flying for the airline. And there's daily challenges. There's short flights, medium flights, and long flights. And it will track all the countries you visited once you land there. Not for takeoffs, but if you land, you'll get a little flag for that country. And it will tell you how many countries you've visited. I'm not even halfway there yet. So yeah, the more the merrier in the airline. All right, we're almost there, folks. Not well, almost. We're 51 nautical miles to our BORDME, and then we'll turn and get ready to land. We'll start dropping some altitude and all that. Thank you again for everybody who's come in and hung out today. Appreciate it. Nice to see you all here. I just figured since we had such a fairly decent flight last time in the DC-3 that we would continue on with that. Just kind of mix things up a little bit. It's been amazing, I think. We should have plenty of gas, plenty of fuel, not gas, plenty of fuel left for our flight. We should get there no problem. We'll make it over these mountains as well. Look at that view. Update my altimeter just to make sure. We're and if you watch Scruffy tomorrow, he will. He usually talks about a link to his merch store over for him. You can get Scruffy Tam merch. You can get Parasox Airline merch. If you can help support him in the channel, it's all appreciated. The only merch I have is a Redbubble store, but it doesn't have anything to do with Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's a link, I believe, in my here on the Twitch that'll take you to my Redbubble if you see something you like. Also, if you check out my Flickr page, if there's a picture there that you like that you want to buy, I can try to load it over on Redbubble, and you can purchase a poster or a postcard or shirt, mug, whatever. All right, there's the coast. Yeah, that's what he said, Scruff. Pair socks. You never know what's going to come out of the mouth of young Joseph there. You just never know. You never know, Joseph. Now you might have given Scruffy something to think about. The next socks that he might create have pairs on them. I think he was thinking of it was probably near lunchtime for him, and he was just like, oh, pear, yeah, food, mmm. Not that he eats, not that he would eat a pear. I don't think. I'd be shocked if he said, "Oh, I went to the store and got a pear or a couple pears to snack on." I'd be like, "Okay, who are you? What have you done with Joseph?" But yeah, looking forward to catching a bit of your Vision Jet flight tomorrow. Should be, it's an interesting little plane for sure. But oh, I don't know if you know, Scruff. Have you heard what time is the sim update? Is that like first thing in the morning, or is it going to be one of those? They're going to make us wait till like late in the day, and then they'll do the download. Then it'll be available. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be like 1 or 2, maybe in the afternoon for us on the. You know, they got to go in and have their pre-meeting, have their coffee meeting, have the actual meeting, and then the post-meeting meeting before they hit the release button. you know. Um, yeah, I'm curious when we're gonna get that sim update to hit. I like to get it downloaded before the appointment, but it may be either released after I get back home from the appointment or later that afternoon. Uh, yeah, they have been. You're right. So yeah, that would be. I saw Mick said something about and go to the photography section for great pictures. Yes. Oh, for yeah, or my on my Flickr. Yes, Mick has been perusing my Flickr off and on since I put the link in. I know it's over on the YouTube channel too. So yeah, it'll probably be after I get back. Maybe it'll get released after I get back from my doctor's appointment tomorrow. And then it's going to be like I feel like I'm going to have to get in there and start checking things out and seeing what's changed, what's working, what may not be working, all that good stuff. Yeah, I haven't been out taking pictures in quite some time. I think the last real one was that I did was when I went. I found an old abandoned. Somebody showed me an old abandoned train repair shop, a steam locomotive repair shop here near where I live, and yeah, quite enjoyed wandering around there. Although it's not a very, it's a bit of a sketchy place to be because you just never know if you walk in there and somebody else is there. Yeah, yeah, I miss. Well, I took a bunch of pictures a couple years ago when I went through Savannah, but I miss living there because I would, and much like Charleston, if you go and you just walk around, there's always something interesting to see. It doesn't matter how many times you've been there, there's always something interesting. And even I think usually it's the way the light is on some of the older buildings, you know, or you just happen to discover something different, you know. Uh, so like when one of my peers when before we went to Iraq, he was getting a tattoo done in downtown Savannah, so I would go with him And I'd bring my camera and I would just go wandering around, just taking pictures to pass the time. And then I would go by the tattoo shop, check in on them, and say, "Hey, how's it? Oh, Richmond, Virginia, yeah." Uh, and if he was still getting work done, if it was still good, I'd be like, "Okay, I'll be back in a few more hours," and I would just go wander around some more. And I miss that, you know. Yeah, it's oh, in the Richmond, that only happened because I had bought a film camera from from a seller in Japan, and it was not working. It was not as described, and instead of paying for it to be shipped back and waiting for a replacement, I found somebody up in Virginia that could repair it. So I brought it up there. I drove up there, brought it to his house, dropped it off, and basically it was like he got it done in a day, and the next day I picked it up, and then I drove over to Richmond on my way back down to Savannah, and walked around there, and just checked it out. And so yeah, I miss one of my old classmates from high school. She lives in the Savannah area with her husband, and last time I visited, we went over to we were in downtown Savannah for a bit, and then we went over to Bonaventure Cemetery. I always like wandering around there. I know it sounds creepy, but it's one of the most peaceful places. Just walking around the cemetery, or finding these very ornate headstones, and stuff like that. And so yeah, I miss that. I don't have that here. I mean, there's interesting places to photograph here, but I don't feel like I don't get that photography itch, so to speak, like I did when I lived in Savannah. There's always something to photograph. And so yeah, I love going to Charleston. uh, yeah. All right, we should be getting ready to turn here shortly, and we'll start getting ready to put this plane on the ground. Yeah, I miss doing stuff like that. I miss going to car races, car shows. I miss going to Amelia Island for sure. I miss going to Laguna Seca. Because even like Monterey, there's places to take pictures there. There's Carmel as well. If you go down the coast from Monterey, you can do the 17-mile drive and get to Carmel. And there's lots of a lot of art galleries there. Um, Lots of cool stuff to see and photograph there as well. Um, yeah, I miss home sometimes, and I miss Savannah in the area. My buddy that's in Vegas, living in Vegas, we used to go down to Jacksonville every so often as well. I took an Amtrak train from Savannah down to Miami. Spent a couple days down in Miami. I'd like to go back to Miami and do the Art Deco tour again. That was a lot of fun. These old hotels and restaurants. All right, there's the airport where our VOR DME is like right around here somewhere. So we should intercept that here in a moment and make a little right turn. Matter of fact, it should, I'm guessing the VOR DME I think is probably like right there, or this little part right there. I think that's where it is. It could be right there. Maybe that's it right there. We'll find out here in a moment. I think it was much closer to the airfield, the airstrip there. So it's got to be like right there. All right, here we are. We're coming to the end here shortly, folks. Pretty soon. Looking for something that might resemble the shape of the VOR DME. Yeah, I think it's going to be there or there. One of the two. Oh, that might be it right there. There we go. Well, wherever it is, we intercepted. We're turning. All right. Now we have some better scenery here. Get suntan lotion out. You don't need a sunburn. I used to get so sunburnt at Laguna Seca. Man. Alright, what's our 32 nautical miles. Alright. Let's see. Let's open the Let's get down to about 7,000 feet. All right, start descending here a little bit. Our final altitude should be about 2,000 feet once we're on final approach to our runway today. So we'll get down to 7 and we'll kind of live there for a little while, and then we'll keep dropping as needed. Yeah, so it should be nice. No, I'm not going to expedite. We're on our way. We're fine. Goodness gracious. We're getting there. I'm hoping I can land before the... there may be one more ad break before we get on the ground. We'll see. We're getting there. Let's look at that a little bit more. A nice picture right here as well. There we go. One more screenshot for the day. Wait, why did it stop at the... Oh, my goodness. Boy, the autopilot on this thing has been acting a little bit suspicious lately. All right. There we go. Let's get a little bit of flap here. Alright, so that should be the Bay of Rio de Janeiro, I think is right over there. Pardon me, I should have muted myself. I just had to get a sip of water. Didn't mean to drink in everybody's ear. There's an airport there. Right here. You can see the runway there. All right. Take care, Scruffy. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Nice to see you as always. I will be seeing you tomorrow in the Vision Jet. There goes the Parasox Airlines CEO, everybody. Scruffy Town. Alright, so our fixed point's coming up here. Should be turning in shortly. Or somebody parked last night to prevent, for some reason or another, prevent our dumpster from getting empty today. You know what Scruffy does for work, Joseph? I know. I can tell you. Do you know what he does for work? You want to take a guess? He instructs students on automotive repair. He used to be an automotive mechanic for General Motors. Yeah, he was a service department manager. Now he teaches at a community college. So he's a teacher. He's very passionate about his job. Yeah, he's you could. Oop. If you show up in the stream tomorrow, you can talk to him about car stuff. All right, so we are getting ready. They will tell us all of our altitudes from here on out, but we do have to be at 2,000 feet. I know that much for our final approach. Yeah, if you show up tomorrow, you can ask him what cars he's worked on in the past. He has a Jeep. He'll tell you about his Jeep. All kinds of fun stuff. All right, now it's activating on its own. We'll get another. Nope, we can. It's interesting that it told us to go to 5,500. Still got a little bit to go. Alright, I know exactly where we are. So we should be on our way to Tollum next, and then to Popsu. All right. Chat here. All right. Short run to Tollum. Yep. I'm like right there. What are you talking about? Well, I guess we just have to wait to go to 2000. All right. We're almost there, folks. We're going to climb out, or not climb, we're going to go out over the water here in just a moment, even more. We're going to go out somewhere over that away, or should be landing somewhere over in there, I do believe. Actually, maybe not even all the way that far, it might be just right over. Like a little bit of fog or haze over Rio de Janeiro. Why would I climb? I know we should make that turn here in a minute. No, I'm not going to climb 10,000 feet. I'm going to stay right where I'm at. See, once again, those crazy instructions. All right, so we got to go 20 nautical miles out over the South Atlantic. Before we turn back in to Rio. You didn't hear ATC? Okay, that's interesting. But you saw the thing flash saying, tell me to climb. See, I always assumed that you guys could hear it. That, you know, it would get maybe there's a bit of a, I don't know, did I change something on the settings maybe? No, I'm not going to 10,000 feet. You must be insane. So you guys can see the little thing flash across the bottom, but you don't hear them. Oh, okay. So you guys don't hear the ATC voice. Okay. So when I disregard ATC's instructions, I'm the only one that gets nagged at. You guys don't hear the nagging. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I don't feel so bad about ignoring the instructions. But you can hear the sound of the plane, right, Mick? Like if I'm like out here or inside, you can hear the sounds of the plane? As long as you can hear the engines and all that, then that's okay. You don't need to hear the ATC. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you. No. Boy, they are really keen on getting me back to 10,000 feet. I don't know why. Alright, so somebody's at the, I think they're at the airport near where I'm going to be landing at here shortly. Boy, I don't know what they're flying, but that's kind of odd. Look at that. It must be in the helicopter. No, maybe not. Boy, that's really their thing is jumping quite a bit. A lot of glitching. All right. Yeah, that should be the bay that we're going into here in a minute. All right, 11 nautical miles, just under 11. No, why would I go to? That just doesn't make any sense to me. This is something I hope they get fixed. These insane sort of instructions when you're on the approach, you're getting ready to get ready to land. Why would it tell you to climb higher? This doesn't make any sense to me. Ah! There we go. Boy, I'm determined to fly this thing like an idiot. All right. Yeah, see, sometimes it's just a matter of waiting them out, and then everything just kind of falls into place. You know, if they told me to go up to 6,000, I think that would have been somewhat reasonable, but all the way back up to 10, that doesn't make any sense. Go. All right, now we're continue to descend that way. That's weird, we're a bit off the line here. Now it's turning. Intercept, and then we're going to turn again. It's kind of a weird... All right, there we go. Turning back towards Rio. One more ad. We still got a bit more flying, folks. If you're watching the ads, I apologize. The ad should clear out before we touch down. Oh, they were in the Boeing 737. That's what it was. Alright, let's have a look here real quick at our... little too early, because there is a warning for that. Right. more than 112 miles an hour. Yeah, see there's the yellow line right there. I did lower them a little bit early. Wasn't completely slowed down for that action, but oopsies. Alright folks, it's almost that time for me to ignore the chat. I'm hoping that the ads clear up. So we should turn to the right here just a bit coming up. There we go. Basically we're gonna, once we get to this next nav point, we're gonna turn again to the right. We're gonna kind of skirt around this little peak right here and kind of come in more over the bay and then turn back in left for our final. That's the way it should be working. Should be being the key word. So it should go 809, 808, 806, and then we're on final. Oh, I'm sorry, 809, or 808, 807. Yeah, 808, 807, 806, 804. Our nav points coming in. All right, let's see. Price, the Redeemer figure. Over here somewhere. We may not get a chance to see it on the way in, which is one of the famous structures here, famous statue here in Rio. Many people go down there to walk all the way up there to the statue. All right, so there's our airport right there. So it's going to be a very quick sequence of events here, folks. Everybody hold on tight. I don't think I've ever come in that low. Yeah, we should be turning. We're going to turn to the left here in a moment, folks. There we go. Looks like we're making that turn now. Ooh-wee, this could be fun. Can we do it? Joseph, you better not be careful or nothing like that. You're going to jinx me. Don't do it. Wow. 6. Oh my goodness, 300. All right, we're turning in. Here we go, folks. Don't you jinx me, Joseph. Don't you do it. I'll get bit to time you out. You jinx me. All right, here we go. We've been to Rio before, Joseph. All right, here we go, folks. Here we go. We got this. We got this. We're going to nail this. Here we go. Big bump coming up. There we go. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Rio de Janeiro. Oh, crap! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh. Oh my goodness. Really? Oh, come on. Alright, I know what I gotta do. I have weight in the back. Yeah, God bless it. I gotta add more weight in the back. Oh, it is not wanting to go. You gotta be kidding me. Oh. Wow. Yeah, it's really stuck in there. Wow. can't believe this. After all that. See, it's like it wants to move. I just can't get it to... Come on. Let's see if I can get this thing to... There we go. Got it. All right. There we go. Did it. Fooled it. All right. Now we can go park. Woo. I had to overload the back and all that. I probably just broke the plane. Anyway, as I was saying, we'd like to welcome you to Rio de Janeiro. Local time is 11:34 in the morning. We understand the fact that that was not planned. The plane had its own... I was trying to get it to slow down before we got to the end there, and I hit the brakes a little too hard, I think. But we got it settled again. We're going to go find our parking spot and all that. So, ooh, boy, that was a quick cut that bit. No, that's all right. It happens. I think I hit the brakes just a little too hard, Mick. There we go, this one. Parking, please. There you go, all the way over there. Wow, that was a tough approach. Oh, we made it. We made it. Yeah, that is not an easy approach, that's for sure. Oof. Yeah, it did happen, Joseph. That's okay. It's a short runway. Really, what preferably should have happened was we should have gotten wheels down way back here and had most of the runway to slow down. But it was trying to, it was like very quickly trying to bleed off the speed enough to get the aircraft on the ground and slow down enough that that wouldn't happen. But it was like everything happened very quickly all at once. So, but that's okay. We made it. Either way, I'm gonna call it a success. Even if we did invariably break the plane or cause some damage to the props and all that, to the front, the nose of the aircraft there. But there we go. All right, we're just going to park it right over here. Okay, let's shut things down. All right, can we see damage to the props? Is the props damaged at all? Let's just have a quick look and then we'll wrap things up, folks. Nope. No damage to the props. No damage to the Well, it buffed out quite nicely, didn't it? There we go. There we go. Nary a scratch. I don't know. Is there a way to tell? I don't know if there's like a damage thing. But anyway, all right. Let's turn off the battery. Right there it is. 3 hours and 29 minutes, and it didn't say in the vicinity of, so it did give us a landing. Um, yeah, not even a scratch. Nothing happened. Nothing to see there, folks. It was all fine. So anyway, yeah, I'll just say 3.5 hours. Not too bad. I really enjoyed that, even though our landing was a little. We did okay, and then I hit the brakes. I think just a teeny bit too hard. That's all. I was trying to get the aircraft under control, and I should have just been tapping the brake button a little bit to get the aircraft slowed down. And I should have pulled or moved to get the tail down on the ground a little bit quicker as well. But that's okay. Anyway, that will do it for today. Hopefully, I will have more info tomorrow as far as an updated schedule and a going forward sort of thing, so that I can get back to flying a little bit more often, so that way we can get back to somewhat of a regular streaming schedule. It may not be all 4 days, it may be 2, it may be 3. You're welcome, Joseph. You don't have to thank me. Thank Mick. There you go. Why don't you thank Mick? See ya, Mella. Take care. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out, and for the resub as well. So yeah, so hopefully I'll have more information, and I can get. It won't be this week. Next week's gonna be a little bit sketchy. Uh, since I got to go get my eyes did. So but yeah, hopefully we'll get back to something a little bit more regular here soon. Anyway, do enjoy the rest of your Monday morning, afternoon, evening, early Tuesday for some folks already. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until next time, peace, live long and prosper.